It's the new challenger Eugene Donnelly against the old master Austin McHale on some of the most classic strips of rally tarmac in Europe on this week's RPM. It's a wet weekend as the top drivers of the most technologically advanced machine try to keep their cars out of the Kerry countryside.
Just 2 weeks previously, the crews lined up for the most famous event of them all, the 3-day Circuit of Ireland in glorious Easter sunshine. At the front it was a Subaru Showdown, as no less than 10 of the state-of-the-art World Rally car Imprezas fought it out. In Group N, the sun shone on Roy White, who took a convincing win. But Eugene Donnelly's rally hit a very dark depression. Austin McHale was back and in third place in a superb Subaru debut. But Andrew Nesbitt was just stunning.
Right line up, back up, square right to the
He never backed off, but sadly for Killarney, he's not back out. But this man is the newest tarmac winner, Derek McGarity, who's determined to win after his lead deflated last year. So it's off to the Kingdom of Kerry for round 2.
Wet and windy Molls Gap. This is the start of the Ordnance Survey Rally of the Lakes, the second round of the Toshiba Tarmac Championship. We've got a 1-hour special for you tonight. The Killarney and District Motor Club have had a long-term ambition to make this one of the rounds of the World Championship. So let's have a look at how it compares with other WRC events.
Killarney's roads could have been made for rallying, and as an integral part of the Circuit of Ireland, they were renowned and revered in the 60s and 70s. In 1979, the Killarney International Rally was born, the first winner Billy Coleman, and since then the event has improved year by year to bring us some of the best memories in Irish rallying. Thanks to the efforts of the Killarney and District Motor Club, Ireland's capital of tourism has become a mecca for rally fans. Austin, if ever there was going to be a World Championship event in Ireland, it would have to be in this part of the world.
Yeah, definitely. I think in the future day we will get a World Championship rally in Ireland, and Killarney and the amount of stages around Killarney is definitely one of the priorities. It's excellent.
There's a real World Championship feel in the Gleneagle Exhibition Centre as the spotlight shines on some of the most awesome rally cars of all time. The 500-plus horsepower Group B monsters. Priceless projectiles which were driven by the top rally drivers of their time. The Group B cars were the most fearsome of any in the World Championship. They had the power but not the active technology of today's machines. But it was here 15 years ago that the World Rally Championship really took off, creating classic scenes in the Monte Carlo, the oldest and most prestigious rally. Here in some of Ireland's classic tests, the difference between the grandeur of the Monte Carlo WRC event and our own are not as wide as you would think. Killarney is a tough test for man and machine, and while the Monte has the Col de Torrential and Burzee, the Irish rally fans have the sweeps of Cara Lake, the rock-strewn Ballacbima and the Shrine of Irish Rallying, the 13-mile mountainous Molls Gap test. 5 more stages than the Monte, 100 less road miles and just 4 less World Rally cars on this starting list. Our little country has produced some spectacular rallying memories, and it would be fantastic to see if the World Championship competitors could face Molls Gap. But even what we have now outside of the World Championship is one of the most competitive series in the world, packed with machinery capable of winning last year's WRC events. The fanatical devotion of the fans on the Col de Torrential in January is matched by those on Molls Gap on the Maybank holiday weekend. World Rally Championship and Irish Tarmac Championship. Really, you know, there's not a huge difference. This year the fans await the number 2 seed Austin McHale, who, due to the absence of last year's winner Andrew Nesbitt, is the first to tackle the 13 miles of the mountainous motoring.
It's off to a flying start as the 2001 Subaru builds up to over 100 miles an hour.
Absolute right, 100.
Even in the wet, the absolute corners are just that.
Slight right and absolute left, 120.
But Austin is content that he's made a cautious start, not willing to take big chances so early in the event. The Sanyo car blasts into the gap and heads for second fastest time. Austin has chosen a cut slick tyre due to the abrasive nature of the road. But as we can see in the following Kilmacalogue test, the surface is flooded at times and we're approaching at 100 miles an hour in 6th gear. After 3 tests, Austin lies 4th, but he'll have to locate some full wet tyres if he's going to climb much higher. Derek McGarity, who has Dermot O'Gorman on the pace notes this time, is unable to climb any higher after the first loop, as the Glengormley man is leading after the first 3 tests. On Molls Gap, he's 3rd fastest, just 1 second behind Austin, and 2nd fastest on the following 2 tests at Kilmacalogue and Tim Healy. That sees him with a mere 3 seconds in hand into the first service. Eamon Boland should be next on the road, but as we see from Eugene Donnelly's car, the Wexford driver is stopped on the stage. Just 3 miles into the first test, the NVD car heartbreakingly is punctured as Eamon and co-driver Damien Morrissey change the wheel, losing a full 4 minutes. No apparent problems for Eugene Donnelly. He's losing time to the leaders. Eamon Boland rejoins behind Johnny O'Sullivan's Escort. All the Wexford driver can hope for now is to pick up a few points. Boland has finished as high as 2nd here in the past. But right now, he's last. But he is catching Johnny O'Sullivan's Escort. The battle to take maximum points in this rally is well and truly on. Eugene Donnelly, with Paul Kiley in the notes, has had a slow start to Molls Gap, with the Harper Subaru just rebuilt after its huge Circuit of Ireland accident. On stages 2 and 3, however, the Macarao man proves to be the master of the wet conditions, slashing 7 seconds off anyone at this stage alone. After 3 tests, Eugene still lies 3rd, just behind local man Donny O'Sullivan, who's traded last year's Group N Subaru for a McKinstry Hire WRC. The combination with Paul Nagel on the notes is about to add to the surprises on the opening test.
100 request, 130, 2 left of the fence. Steady yourself, 2 left of the fence, easy.
Steady it's not, as Donny takes 5 seconds off Austin McHale.
3 right,
He's claiming a gamble of slick tyres on the abrasive surface, having paid off.
Be careful, slippy maybe. Right, carry your speed through it, that's it. To the board. 57, that's a good time.
The following tests, however, are different, and he loses 17 seconds to the charging Donnelly over Kilmacalogue and Tim Healy.
The 5 left, fast. Left pass, push through it, and flat 2 left, keep it going, keep it going.
Just behind the gaggle of Subarus is the sole Corolla of Liam McCarthy. After a somewhat disappointing season with the car last year, the Dunmanway driver is really impressing in the wet, despite the Corolla's more twitchy nature. He lies just 20 seconds behind Austin McHale, having caught and passed Maurice Gass, who had a miserable time on the gap. Tim McNulty drives the car that Derek McGarity led in last year. Number 13. Well, it probably should have been Peter Herson. The Subaru refused to start at the rally headquarters and is now running very late with a road penalty. Padden is already out of the equation. It's very disappointing after his Circuit of Ireland retirement. Barry Coleman in a McKinstry WRC and Tom Holton's Celica are also to have very short runs. The Celica will expire on the 5th test at Ardgroom. But by then the spectators, never mind the drivers, can hardly see due to the torrential rain. Their enthusiasm isn't dampened though, as Derek McGarity storms through to hold a narrow lead.
I'm pleasantly surprised that we're setting times, because the last few stages have been treacherous, absolutely horrendous conditions. I personally feel that we're not trying at all. We have so much to come, and for the last 3 stages we definitely have been on the wrong tyre, so we're going on to what I think will work now.
And you are obviously revelling in this car.
I love the car. The car's excellent.
All the way up to the top, 3 right fast and 4 left.
Few people would have bet on Donny O'Sullivan in the BioClear Subaru being second in this rally, but he was after the second stage. Despite his great efforts, he's beginning to lose ground though on the more experienced crews, and by the first service is back to 4th place. Nearly staying on the road is an achievement today, as those pools of standing water can catch out the unwary.
Flat 2 left and 4 left. 2 left and 4 left. And 4 left. 40. Open square right. Square right. 40.
It's our first time in having the car in the wet conditions, and these other guys are just flying, you know.
But it is very much a learning curve for you.
Ah, for sure. I mean, there's 19 stages. There's only like 5 done or something, so we've a long way to go.
Going extremely fast now are Eugene Donnelly and Paul Kiley, who scythed through the Ardgroom test 3.5 seconds faster than Derek McGarrity to begin their process of whittling down the lead. The tyres are very much suiting the wet conditions, similar to those of the Galway West Rally which Eugene won in November. One of the major attributes of the Subaru Imprezas is their ability on the jumps, and Donnelly's version is no exception. But on Tim Healy, Eugene has a very old rally car problem to attend to, as amazingly, the state-of-the-art World Rally car is misting up badly, a problem more akin to a 25-year-old Mark II Escort. But the Macará man is still fastest and narrows Derek's lead down to just 0.1 of a second after the second run through the gap. Tyres are definitely a key factor today.
Why are you putting the extra grooves in?
Because these are a medium compound tyre and it helps them to warm up better and get rid of the water.
Somebody was saying the tyres haven't been built to cope with today's conditions. Is that close?
Oh no, they're fine. They're fine. The tyres are working very good on the car. You just have to be aggressive with them.
And he's certainly been aggressive.
Yeah.
I just don't seem to be comfortable with what tyres I've on, you know. I've made the wrong choice every time we've changed, you know. I feel that way anyway, but hey, the times is there. Maybe I'm wrong.
You wouldn't think Austin McHale was on a cut slick tyre in these conditions, as he leaps over the Cod's Head jumps at well over 100 miles an hour. Perhaps the tyre supply problem has got Austin wound up, as we're starting to see flashes of the old Austin that emerged in the Circuit of Ireland. After 6 tests, he's just 18 seconds behind the leading pair. McHale's Impreza is the S7 model dating from 2001. McGarrity's is a year younger, but a year is a long time in rallying.
It's rich rain this morning, but you just have to treat the stages here with respect, you know, when you get that sort of conditions, as simple as that.
It's been a very respectable drive for Dunmanway's Liam McCarthy in the Corolla WRC, which stopped development 2 years ago. After some average performances last season, the Murphy construction car is showing great promise and is poised to strike should trouble befall the leaders. Keeping out of trouble now is Eamon Boland, who's fastest on Ardgroom.
So what's the plan now for the rest of the rally?
There's a long ways to go still, and we'll just see how it goes. Hopefully try and get back into the top 10 before Eden.
And the times have been good up to now?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad.
Very relaxed as always.
There's nothing we can do now.
There's nothing much poor Patter Hurson can do now to pass David Randall's Sonny, as Patter's event takes a drizzly disposition, retiring the Hills Subaru with electrical failure. On Ardgroom, Barry Coleman and Greg McCarthy are about to retire in more expensive fashion, striking a solid stone wall and blocking the stage. McKinstry's Subaru is a mess, but thankfully the crew escape unharmed. Keeping out of harm's way is Johnny O'Sullivan, who's broken a drive shaft on stage 4 and is struggling through the service. It must be more of a struggle though for the thousands of very wet spectators.
The second division Group N battle promised to be a real corker in Killarney, and it was living up to expectations as the Circuit of Ireland Group N winner Roy White took 3rd fastest on Molls Gap. Aaron McHale, travelling up this famous bit of road behind him, is 4th fastest in the opening stage. Up there's dram on Tim Healy as Roy is passed by Aaron's car. The Evo 7 has run out of racing fuel, and the fuel from the local filling station is not agreeing with the car's brain. But Aaron McHale suffers brain fade on our groom. It's a minor mistake, but a puncture has been picked up, dropping minutes and into the clutches of George Tracy. Barry Coleman's misfortune will become Aaron's gain as the stage is scrubbed for the following cruise. Aaron's been lucky to get away with that mistake. So who was leading the Whiteout Group N race? No, it's not Willie John Dolan, but a late entry from last year's Group N champion Trevor Cathers, who's borrowed John Dolan's car. Fastest in the first two tests at Molls Gap and Kilmacologue shows that Trevor has lost none of his nerve or speed. Dickie Curran's playing himself in on his first ever run over Aaron's most famous stage. But similar to Molls Gap debutante, Andrew Stewart is playing a very different game and is absolutely flying in the slightly older Evo 6, catching Dickie Curran on the test and is only 6 seconds adrift of Molls Gap veteran Trevor Cathers. It's a pace the Tarmac Championship at Killarney Newcomer is continuing on the saturated Kilmacologue, just a second behind Trevor.
2 right and OK, 40, 3 left and 4 right.
He's fastest than Tim Healy, and despite losing time here, passing Tom Holton, Stricken, Salik and Cod's Head, he's still second fastest.
Stand in water and 3 right and 4 right and left and lower crest. Watch it. 4 right and left and lower crest. 80. 2 right. Lower crest.
That slide was an indication of the Donegal man's pace. Mind you, he's been well on the pace in the past in his home county.
4 right and left and 4 right tightens. 4 right and left and 4 right tightens and 4 left and right. 4 left here and right and long 2 left and right at side and 100. 4 right down, 4 right down here. Long 4 right down here, 4 right down and
he's
3
very
left
definitely
and right over
on the pace again on the Tim Healy, finishing the stage in a time of 6 minutes 24 seconds. That's third fastest overall. Belgian visitor Chris Farr is fourth in Group N after 6 tests, but he will roll in fury. Jerry McVeigh lies 8th in Group N, that's just behind the very hard-trying George Tracy, who is only one of the few Subarus on the leaderboard. Charlie McVitie is 6th in the group, but local man John O'Leary will shortly leave the fray. Dermot Hannafin is originally from the Kingdom of Kerry, and now he's back to compete for the first time on his home stages. Again, he has the experienced Michael Gibson alongside him on the Fitzsamuel Subaru. And on the first run of Molls Gap, he passes a troubled Peter McCullough.
Right one, keep in. Right one, keep in, keep concentrating. 80. Left 5 over jump and press. Tightens, don't cut.
By the 4th test at Cod's Head, Dermot is really picking up the pace. On his first experience in the wet with the Subaru.
Wet inside, and care crest left 5. Keep in, crest left 5, the dip through right to left 2.
But like on the circuit in the ex-David Higgins car, he will retire when a knocking noise from the Japanese motor knocks Dermot out of contention.
Right over crest and jump to right 2 tightens, right 2 tightens again. 60 down, caution left 3.
Whilst Ray Hilliard almost knocks a hole in Molls Gap. Back in Andrew Stewart's Evo, we're knocking on the door of the Group N lead as the Shell Lancer is setting a remarkable series of stage times.
4 left and here. Stay left over up through crest. Right.
With driving like this, he takes 2 seconds off Trevor Cathers on the first run through Lochalua.
Stay left.
And a further second on the first run through Fury.
100. Stay right.
On the second run through Fury, the Donegal duo have opened up a tiny lead in this epic battle, which has these showroom spec cars right up to 6th place overall amongst a field which includes 14 World Rally cars. It's an excellent drive, especially for a driver on his first visit to the Killarney stages, and it is showing that the Circuit of Ireland pace of the Hog Motorsport Lancer was no flash in the pan. Here on the very fast section at the start of Lochaluia, the Group N Evo is touching 120 miles an hour. And remember, these more standard machines don't have the brakes of the World Rally cars.
Alright, 3 left, over after crest, 80, 2 right, over crest into long.
Just watch this for commitment further down the test, as the Group N leader pushes the car and tyres to the limit, snatching another second off Trevor Cather's newer machine.
Okay, 80, and watch it turn, deceptive, narrow, 4 right, over junction, and a 3 right, and 3 right, and 3 right, and left, and back off, 2 right, and over.
While these machines are much closer to standard than their WRC cousins, the standard of driving is just as high.
These are the 5 left here. These are the 5 left here, 5 left here, and 100 up middle.
But on the last stage of a dramatic day at Lochcotain, this amazing run is about to come to a dramatic end on this next right-hander.
What did you do that for?
The previous 4 stages there we've been out on cut slicks, and it's really been starting to dry out, you know, and they've just gone off in this stage. Now we didn't want to go into the stage with them on, but we didn't have much choice, you know, so they just I turned the car in and it just wouldn't go in here, and this is where we've ended. We were having a great dice with Trevor, but you know, this is rallying, that's what happens, unfortunately.
Trevor Cathers is reputed to be testing new development ProDrive parts in Willie John Dolan's Subaru, and the former Group N British champion feels more than happy with his pace today. Trevor will sleep happier tonight as he holds a 1 minute 22 second advantage over the hard-charging Dickie Curran. Aaron McHale's Evo 5 hasn't been handling as well after that earlier off, but still the Dubliner is third, albeit a 1 minute and a half back on Dickie Curran's younger model. More worrying is the recovering Roy White, who is a mere 7 seconds behind and is fastest Group N on the final Lochcotain stage. Chris Varr has a spin before that Roland Fury.
In the battle for the National Rally of the Lakes for modified cars, Dennis Cronin's glorious M3 leads from the outset and lies 7th overall. The 270 horsepower rear-wheel drive machine is far from suited to the slippery roads, although a new adjustable suspension is helping with the M3's chronic traction problems. Added to the treacherous tarmac is fog on Cod's Head, but the M3 still looks and sounds amazing. The most amazing rally car of all time, the Mark II Escort, being driven here by Wesley Patterson with Bob Kelly in the notes. The Lisburn driver is in the top 4 on day 1 in this Pinto engine car, despite a scare with a failing alternator on Fury. John Hickey, who has the ex-Ian Greer Celica, and Fergal Allen's similar M3 are Dennis Cronin's main threats, but both are well down. But Kieran O'Neill is never down as he lifts the mood of the crowd with a display up Molls Gap that really takes us back to what rear-wheel drive rallying is all about. The Belfast driver used it every inch of the road, but sadly the cadet cries enough further up the gap. Willie Parr's Chevette is lucky to be still going after a broken exhaust, wipers and a misfire. But Brendan Brosnan starts a whole trio of Mark IIs as a sideways Tom Halliday flings his Escort up the gap. He's trying to hold off Padraig Price's beautiful BDG engine car for Class 11 honours. Local man Peter Kelly with Colin Lucy appears to have got lost at the gap. Nevertheless, he's becoming the man to beat in Class 12 in the 2.4 Escort. It's allowing James Foley to challenge him for position, though, in the overall honours list for the National Rally. But Joe Connolly will have a real challenge to keep his 3.2-litre Porsche on the road this weekend. Adrian Randalls from just down the road in Kenmare almost takes the wrong road. Although the weather has abated for the crowd, the battle at the front is far from abated. Derek McGarity is looking certain to lose his lead. So close has the race become that Derek is a mere 0.1 of a second ahead as the Yellow Peril tries to prevent the fat stripper car stripping him of the lead. Eugene throws time away on the first Lochaluath as he stalls the Subaru on the start line. But even so, he takes a crucial 6.9 seconds off Derek McGarity to move into the rally lead, which he further extends by 2 seconds on the next test. It's all happening now. Eugene's car begins to overheat, allowing Derek to scorch through the second Lochaluath test to take 9 seconds back, leaving Eugene with a very precarious 2-second lead. Near the end of the following Fury test, and that's Dermot O'Gorman standing at the side of the road as Derek is turning his crashed Subaru. With Derek losing over 2 minutes, Eugene should be secure in the lead, but Austin McHale has finally got the right rubber and now has the right time. Former Group N leader Andrew Stewart can only watch as McGarity's wounded Impreza goes by. With a sniff of Eugene's problems, Austin is fastest on the final 2 tests of the day, taking 8 seconds off Eugene to finish the day just 20 seconds back. With some of Austin's favourite terrain to come, Eugene won't be resting easy tonight. Tony O'Sullivan can rest as being the fastest man through Molls Gap on only his second outing in the left-hand drive McKinstry World Rally car. The local man has had a somewhat uneventful day and he lies third overnight, 1 minute and 34 seconds behind Eugene. Just 20 seconds back is Liam McCarthy, with Kieran Murphy on the pace notes. Liam has really woken up in the Corolla and the wet just as well to catch this slide at Fury Bridge. But there's a big technology gap between this car and the newer Subarus. Morris Gas has the newer car, but has been continually caught out in the wrong rubber. Tim McNulty and Anthony Nestor have lost 25 seconds with clutch trouble on Fury. But Eamon Boland has game time as he's second fastest on the final 2 stages of the day. Johnny O'Sullivan ends the day in 14th place, his transmission maladies cured. Just behind is Paddy White, who's about to have the clutch changed.
Next year will be the 250th anniversary of the birth of Killarney town, the birthplace of Irish tourism. Since 1754, Killarney has welcomed many artists, poets, composers and monarchs who have all been enchanted by its beauty. And since 1979, it's played host to one of the fastest rounds of the Tarmac Championship.
Day 2 of the Ordnance Survey Rally of the Lakes promises to be dramatic, thanks to a major off by Derek McGarity towards the end of Day 1. But the car may look like it's got fairly major damage. The guys say they can rebuild her. In about 15 minutes' time, Derek will take his place in the lineup. Eugene heads the field at the start of Day 2. But can Derek make up that lost time? One thing that hasn't changed, this awful weather.
It's mechanical miracle time as the ProDrive mechanics refit the ex-Tommy Mackinnon Subaru. But what exactly has happened to Derek?
Yeah, we were having a good run. It was a right-hander. We were pushing fairly hard, but the car got a little bit light. It was damp, and put a left back wheel in on the grass, and away she went like a top down the road. But we were very fortunate that we got away with it. That it's mainly cosmetic damage. It doesn't look great, but it's mainly cosmetic.
It'll have to be a very quick jaunt for Derek to catch Eugene Donnelly, as today Eugene and Paul Carley head the field into Molls Gap. With just 20 seconds in hand over Austin McHale, and Austin now on the right tyres, the pressure is on the McHale driver to stay in front. He can't afford a wrong tyre choice like yesterday, and with the engine temperature rising, the heat is really on Eugene.
Flat one right, 100, long 4 left here.
Having won the first wet Galway West International and the Ballina stages, and his ability in the loose surface events in the Northern Ireland Championship, Eugene should be well capable of holding off Austin. But with the older technology and that engine worry, this time over Molls Gap will be crucial.
6 right. To get here, 6 right. 80. 4 left, the next one.
Approaching the end of the gap, and it's clear that with weather like this, no records will be broken. But Eugene records a time of 10 minutes 27.6 seconds. Just breaking the electronic timing beam at the start of the stage is the driver who has probably tackled this stage more than most, Austin McHale. And there's definitely no time for a service at the church today, as from inside and outside, Austin in the 2001 Subaru S7 looks faster than Eugene. The night's rain, however, has made the road wetter, and just around the corner, it's very wet.
Quick left again, fudge. That's absolute right. 170.
Not even the best rain tyres can cope with that amount of water, and Austin is lucky to stay on the road. But will this put his stage time well off track? It's a time of 10 minutes 33.3 seconds. Yes, he's dropped a crucial 5.7 to Eugene, making the gap 25 seconds with 7 stages to go. Going all out for local honour are Donny O'Sullivan and Paul Nagel, who I'm sure would like the beneficial perpetual trophy for fastest time up the gap to rest on their mantelpiece. Fastest on the first stage here yesterday. No one is really expecting this World Rally Car novice to repeat that feat.
Drums. One left. Flat 2 right. Flat 2 left, 130. Right over crest, jump easy. Stay left over middle over crest, jump 40. Stay right over crest, 40. Crest bump braking 5 left. Bump braking 5 left, back off. 5 left.
Round the last left-hander, and it's been a very clean run. 3 quicker than yesterday, a time of 10 minutes 24.8 seconds. Also 3 seconds up on Eugene. Bill McCarthy shoots off the line, but at this point little does he know that he will be one of the slowest up the gap, as Trevor Cathers has just passed the stricken Corolla, which is about to retire with a broken oil seal. Already that promotes Derek McGarity up to 4th, but he's still not far off 2 minutes behind Donny in 3rd, and the Matcom car is not handling as it should. It's not worth going flat out now, as Derek's main concern now is to collect points and to add to his Circuit of Ireland tally. Even so, he's beginning to take time from Donny on the Carroll Lake and Shanara stages to close the gap to just over a minute. Maurice Gass and Jeffrey Orr are now up to 5th. They are also collecting valuable Tarmac Championship points in the Pedro car. And Eamon Boland is rapidly closing after his 4-minute delay yesterday. Eamon, who starred in this year's Monte Carlo Rally, finishing 14th, is putting his experience of those slippery roads to good use today. Eamon's punctuated experience yesterday is being mirrored by Tim McNulty today, as he has lost minutes with not 1 but 2 punctures. But surprisingly, Tim equals Eamon Boland's time here on Shanara, a sign of the potential of this team, which has yet to be unleashed. Johnny O'Sullivan in his WRC Escort and Paddy White Subaru on a recovery drives through the field and have been doing similar stage times all day. Back to the top three, and Donny O'Sullivan's fast, steady run is about to be rudely interrupted.
Turn square right, fast.
The rear tyre in the Subaru is blown 3 miles from the end of Carroll Lake, but amazingly he only loses 9 seconds to a pursuing Derek McGarty.
Rally car to chase over, we have a puncher. Over. Right, keep her to the board, keep her to the board. Right, that's it.
All is well, however, at the next test at Shallow.
Crest on right, into 2 left, 1 right care. Go on, keep on, push through it, 2 left, 1 right 60, 1 right 80, 1 left 300. 300, keep going to the board. 1 left over, finish and 1 right. That's it, switch her off.
Now, can you hold off? You've got 50 seconds ahead of Derek. Can you hold him off?
I think we probably should. Molls Gap, if it's good to us as it has been the last 2 times, I think that should give us a bit of a break. You know, Beam is not very long, and hopefully we'll just take it to the finish after that.
Can you feasibly catch Austin?
No, we're not even going to try. Not even going to try. Austin and Eugene are doing their own thing, and they can do it. We're happy where we are.
Into bad jumps.
Stage 13, Ballochbeamer Pass, a Killarney classic. And with his lead just extended to 27 seconds on Molls Gap, Eugene Donnelly must be in a confident mood. However, he's becoming increasingly worried about the engine. And as we reach the end of the test, he equals Derek McGarty's time of 7 minutes 43.1 seconds.
40. Caution, 2 left over, very big jump here. That's it, give it done. 3 left.
Off the start line of Ballochbeamer, and it's clear that Austin's raging at losing time on the gap. And he's bringing to life one of the great Killarney tussles. Billy Coleman, James Cullen and Bertie Fisher have all had frantic dances with the Dubliner in this terrain. And the 5 times Tarmac champion still knows how hard it is to win here, having won twice in 20 years of trying. But he's really trying here at Ballochbeamer, a place where there is no margin for error as the rocks are waiting. Approaching the finish, and this is sure to be an excellent time. 7 minutes, 20.2 seconds. That's 23 seconds faster than Eugene Donnelly. That's 2 seconds a mile.
The next stage, the 8-mile Carroll Lake test. And with the lead closed to just 4 seconds, surely Austin can move into the top spot. Inside Eugene's car, and the temperature of this battle is reaching boiling point, with the McElrath driver responding in no uncertain fashion, taking 7 seconds back on Carroll Lake, a fact that will have real bearing later.
6 right plus. 80, 2 right plus.
On to stage 15, as McHale comes through with a fabulous time of 7 minutes 1 second. That's 9 seconds faster than Eamon Boland over 7 miles.
1 left over, small
in car with Donnelly though, and it's clear that's Eugene, not the car, that's steaming, as he takes 6 seconds off Austin in the test.
He's going very quick, you know, and I've always known that he was a very good driver, but I think he proved that in the circuit as well, you know, so yeah, he's really going well, and fair dues to him.
Yesterday's Group N leaders in the Ordnance Survey Rally of the Lakes can only watch as the big rival Trevor Cathers heads off into the second day with a 1 minute 20 second lead. He further extends his advantage in Molls Gap and Ballochbeamer and lies 7th, just 5 seconds behind Maurice Gass's World Rally car.
Slick right, quick right.
On the fast section, just 2 miles into Carroll Lake, 3rd place man Aaron McHale comes across David Moynihan, standing in the road.
20 quick right plus.
The Group N leaders have rolled in a big way, and as you can see from the damage, it's been considerable. It's a very rare mistake that's put the Omaha haulage contractor out of the Group N picture, and let's hope that we see last year's champion back on the stages again soon. Now it's Dickie Curran in the lead. The ex-racer is glad of this bit of runoff. Aaron McHale in the Murphy Motors Mitsubishi is determined not to let Dickie run off with the Group N lead. And just like his father, he takes a lot of time back on Ballochbeamer. 13 seconds in the first run and 18 on the second. He's still 2 minutes back, but with the way the Group N has changed so far, who knows?
Left and quick right. And slightly left and quick right, keep in. Long slight right continues.
It's been a change for the worse for this weekend for the Circuit of Ireland Group N winner Roy White, as the Mitsubishi is now terminally ill and has broken a differential. In contrast, Michael Curran's rally has been very undramatic. A well-paced drive sees him move up into third place, a family double in the top three in Group N. Charlie McVitie's drive has obviously been dramatic, and he finishes in fourth in Group N, ahead of the first Subaru of George Tracy, with the ever-enthusiastic Dermot Lynch in the co-driving. And talking of enthusiasm, Eddie Gary really chucks it into sixth place. Relative newcomer Jack Slater's Eagle 7 finishes in seventh. But Dennis and Frank Barrett's rally had finished in spectacular fashion in Molls Gap. Finishing first again in Class 1, it's Harry Cathcart. James Cullen and Reba Graham sadly don't finish, so Jerry Broderick's Civic takes Class 2 honours by 9 minutes. And Kevin O'Donoghue in the Civic Type R had one of the drives of the event and screams home in 15th overall. Whilst the little micro of Michael Herbert and Karen McCormick whizzes to a Class 5 win despite the best efforts of Gordon Coleman's car. In the hotly contested Class 6, Alan Ring led but crashed, handing the victory to a hard-trying Pat Kearney and Robert Hughes. Colin Murphy won the Focus Cup, Class 7 and an excellent 16th overall, whilst Ken O'Neill Class 9 win was much appreciated. As was the talented Lloyd Hutchison in the Mighty Mini, who finished third in class behind the low-seeded Mark Nagel and class winner of the third time John Tully, who approaches the gap in old style. James Foley is the third Class 11 car home, and that's behind one of the battles of the weekend, as Tom Halliday and Paul Horan's spectacular efforts leave him second in class, just 4 scant seconds behind the beautiful sounding Mark II of Padraig Price, after 200 miles of flat-out stages. Despite this lurid spin, Will Power shoves his Chevette into second in Class 12. Peter Kelly entertained the whole way to take the top award in the class, although the top 12 class car was the modified winner Dennis Cronin. John Hickey wins Class 13 in his new Celica. And Martin Freestone's post-historic winning Escort takes us back to the days of Roger Clark, while historic winner Frank Cunningham's Mini reminds us of the great Irish rival Paddy Hopkirk. We will be doing a full roundup of the historics in the Donegal programme.
Back with the most modern machines on the final fling through Molls Gap, and Eugene's co-driver Paul Kiley is noticing the change in pace.
Flat 2 right, late cut, 150. Flat press jump, flat press jump and flat 2 left plus, press jump, caution 3 right. Here, line, 100. Take it easy, flat 1 left.
With only 16 seconds in hand, every gear change will count from now to the finish. And one missed one could tip the balance in the life of the engine. With a time of 9 minutes, 54.6 seconds, it's promising. McHale starting behind him, homing in on Donnelly. There's more than just the lead at stake here, as the fastest man up the gap will win the coveted Bertie Fisher Memorial Trophy. Now past the gap, Austin is really going for it and will set a time of 9 minutes, 41 seconds, bringing the lead down to just 2.3 seconds. Fantastic! And now it's Ballochbeamer Pass, where Austin took 23 seconds out of Eugene last time. Just into the start of the test, and Eugene is taking no prisoners over these jumps.
Flat 1 right, 60. Big jump, okay. Flat 1 right, oh, bad. Right.
With the stage now much drier, the times will be much faster as the Subaru echoes up the valley to a time of 7:13, 30 seconds faster than his first time. But after several seasons, Austin has at last another chance of victory, and he's attacking Ballochbeamer like his old Manta 400 days. The effort is about to pay off as he takes 5 seconds off Eugene to move into a 2.5 second lead with just 2 tests remaining. On to the 7.44 miles of Cara Lake, used every year in this rally, the place where Eugene took 7 seconds out of Austin last time. It's clear that Eugene's feeling the pressure as he declines to be interviewed at the stage start. The bulletins are making much better reading for Austin.
Yeah, we've got 14 in Molls Gap, we've got 5 on the last stage. So, pressure's up.
The tension is building as just 13 miles will decide this rally. Eugene's really got his race face on as the countdown begins, and he drops the clutch at 5,000 revs. From inside, the pace is relentless.
5 left. Press 5 left after this. 80. Caution.
Halfway through, and it looks very calm in the second place Subaru. It's looking like a very good time as Eugene uses every inch of the road to record a time of 7 minutes, 3 seconds. On the start line, McHale knows he'll have to be another gear up in his driving to beat Eugene on this test. It's clear the Sanyo Subaru's on full charge, and it passes our camera position just a mile into the stage. But he won't make the next mile, as we see from Tony O'Sullivan's car. Austin's car is beached in the bog. One simple spin is all it took to decide this great battle. The crowds on the final test are somewhat surprised not to see Austin as the battles for the top placings are decided. Tim McNulty's had a battle just to finish in 15th, whilst in contrast, Michael Curran has had absolutely no dramas in 11th place and 3rd in Group N. Paddy White clutches on his 10th spot. Amid all the drama, Aaron McHale is rewarded with 2nd in Group N and 10th overall, making up for his Circuit of Ireland disappointment. After his troubles yesterday, I'm sure Johnny O'Sullivan won't be disappointed with 8th place. Absolutely delighted, though, will be Dickie Curran and Billy McCullens, clinching their first Tarmac Group N win. Winning the national rally in convincing tail-out fashion and 6th overall on time are Dennis Cronin and Helen O'Sullivan. The local crew provided welcome sights and sounds of the M3's heyday, grappling with the 270 horsepower rear-wheel drive car in far from ideal conditions.
Turn tail out into absolute right.
Grappling with the wrong rubber all weekend has been Morris Gass, who slides his way through the gap and eventually finishes in 5th. It was the gap that slid Eamon Boland into last place, but his recovery drive nets 4th on the second last stage. He started number 3 and finished number 3 as the rally favourite completes a damage limitation exercise.
I'll be in Donegal, but not necessarily in this car.
The change from his usual car has lifted Tony O'Sullivan's reputation, as his performances this weekend, particularly over Molls Gap, have been noteworthy for a World Rally Car novice. The BioClear cars had a relatively clean run today. The local Charger is rewarded with an excellent 2nd place.
Second overall, it's unbelievable. We certainly didn't expect it, you know. We enjoyed every minute of it, no question. Absolutely. If we went on for another day, we'd have stayed with it, you know.
However, no one can be more delighted than the genial Eugene Donnelly, as both he and the car's engine have withheld the pressure to arrive first at the Glen Eagle Hotel. The very popular winner takes his 2nd tarmac win in a car that's 3 years older than some of its rivals.
Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. It's been such a weekend of pressure. Battle of the day with Austin was unreal. I mean, it was so tense, like, you know, we were just sawing up and down between 10 and 15 seconds between us, like, you know. It was just so intense, like, the whole afternoon. It was just so intense. It was a great rally, you know.
Just 2 weeks earlier, this Subaru was being lifted back onto its wheels. And now Eugene's lifting the trophy in one of the top tarmac rallies in Europe. In the hunt for the title, it's Derek McGarrity still at the top of the table. Round 3 is in Donegal.